Hey folks, it's Dave Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I'm coming to you today with a video about inmate manipulation. Okay, now there's several different types of manipulation. There's manipulation tactics to get you to do something for them, to bring them stuff in, to help make their time more comfortable, to bring them a cell phone, to bring them drugs, cigarettes, whatever else, okay? That's not the type of manipulation that I'm talking about in this video. The type of manipulation that I'm talking about in this video, and yes, I have notes down here, that's why I keep looking down, is the guilt trip or threats of administrative or judicial action against you. Inmates want to be left alone, by and large. They don't want staff involved in their day-to-day activities, because if staff, specifically security staff, is involved in their day-to-day activity, then they can't do what they want to do. They can't move contraband. They can't square up deals. They can't be violent with one another. They can't do what they want to do. So the first way that they try to get you out of their business is with a guilt trip. Just to give you an example, you have an inmate that his dormitory went to chow about an hour ago. His dormitory went to chow an hour ago. The chow hall is now closed. They are cooking the next meal. We have stopped feeding the meal that we are currently on, or that he missed, and we've moved on to the next meal. And this inmate, when you open the door for your afternoon call-outs, this inmate just walks out and walks up to the gate and tells the gate officer, "I'm going to the chow hall. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten." Chow hall officer says, "Well, your dorm was fed an hour ago." Or the center gate officer says, "Your dorm was fed an hour ago, and the meal is over. The chow hall is closed." This inmate, and I've heard this over and over again in my career, this inmate will look at you and say, "So you're denying me a meal?" No, we are not denying you a meal. Okay? That is a manipulation tactic. He's trying to make you feel guilty. He's trying to make you feel guilty, saying, I haven't eaten. You're denying me the ability to eat a meal. I am supposed to be allowed to eat. Now, we do provide 3 meals a day. Everybody else in his dormitory that wanted to eat came out and ate. So he was provided the same opportunity to eat a meal that the other inmates in his dorm were afforded. We're not denying him the ability to eat. He denied himself that ability because he didn't get up and get out of there with the rest of his dormitory. To add insult to injury, a lot of times when I hear an inmate tell me, "So you're denying me a meal?" a sergeant will walk up and say, "Captain, I spoke to him. He was in the chow hall eating with the rest of his dorm. I saw him get a tray." So he's trying to manipulate me into giving him another tray. Another way that they will try to manipulate you with guilt is after a use of force. You see 2 inmates fighting. You don't know whether or not they have weapons. You don't know whether or not they're doing any real damage to one another. They're fighting. You order them to stop. You call for backup. Backup arrives. You administer chemical agents. The inmates stop fighting. They lay down. Now, the other inmates in the dorm, as an effort to make you feel guilty for doing what you did, "Man, they was just playing. They was just horse playing. You gassed them on the house. You didn't have no reason to do that, man. You should have left them boys alone. They handling business." So that's one of the things that they will do to try to manipulate you using guilt. Some terms that I have heard in my career is that you doing what you did is a violation of their civil rights. Doing what you did is cruel and unusual punishment. This is one I heard recently. It's a violation of the Geneva Conventions because you're not supposed to use chemical warfare in war. Last I checked, it wasn't a war. It was two inmates fighting. Man did nothing wrong, and they were just playing. I've heard all that, okay? Doing everything in their power to make you feel guilty. Now, I also mentioned the threat of administrative or judicial action. That one is often used, in my experience, it's often used in a confinement type setting. Some states refer to it as segregation. We refer to it as confinement in Florida. And it is, let's say you suspect an inmate has a weapon in his cell. You want to pull him out to search the cell to ascertain whether or not this inmate has a weapon. Now, the weapon could be something as simple as a cup filled with urine. I personally do not want a cup filled with another man's urine thrown on me. It could be something as harsh as a knife that he has fabricated out of something in his cell. And I hear, I'm not coming out, you can't make me cuff out, you can't make me cuff up to come out. It's my right to refuse to be searched. On and on and on. And it's absolutely not his right to refuse to be searched. And I go into the use of force playbook, and let's say, just as an example, we're setting up a team to forcibly remove this inmate from his cell. If you do this to me, my lawyer will have your job. Go ahead. I'll just sue you. I'll get paid. You're going to pay me. Or my new personal favorite. There is a camera on me at all times. I am an FBI plant, and if you do this, the FBI will meet you in the parking lot and arrest you. I've had several inmates tell me that in my career. I have never been met in the parking lot and arrested by the FBI. It is a tactic. It is a manipulation tactic to get them to get you to leave them in their cell and leave them alone. Sorry about that, folks. So it is absolutely a manipulation tactic. Now, don't fall for this. You have a job to do. You need to do your job. Okay? In Florida, and I'm pretty sure in every other Department of Corrections across the nation, there is a policies and procedures manual. Ours is about 6 inches thick. Every policy and procedure you could possibly think of is in it. There's a lot of stuff you're going to encounter that is not covered within the policies and procedures. But the use of force is definitely covered in your procedures. Now, you have to understand, inmates know that rule book. Inmates have access to a vast majority of the policies and procedures. They also, in the state of Florida, the Florida Administrative Code Chapter 33 deals with the prison system. Inmates have 100% unlimited access to Chapter 33. They can request it. They can get it. They can read it. They have 24 hours a day to figure out how to beat you. Whatever you work, you might have 8 hours a day, up to 12 hours a day, sometimes 16 hours a day, to try to figure out how to beat them. Now, you have to know the rule book. You have to. Your job depends on it. Your freedom depends on it. You have to know how to deal with these inmates and do so within the policies and procedures so that any administrative action or judicial action that they take against you is frivolous. We stand on our procedures. We do our job. We do our job the right way. The core values of our department are respect, integrity, courage, selfless service, and compassion. So while we are doing the level best that we can to provide care, custody, and control for the inmate population, we have to do so within the guidelines of the policies, procedures in Chapter 33. Because the inmates have a lawyer. They do. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I take great pride when I know that I am within the policies and procedures, which is every time I interact with an inmate, and they tell me that my lawyer is going to have my job. I remind them that he did such a good job keeping him out of prison. Yeah, that's probably not what I should tell them, but it is. So I don't fear their administrative actions. I don't fear their judicial actions, and I certainly am not able to be made to feel guilty for doing my job, because I stay within the policies and procedures of my organization. I recommend everybody that's listening to this video do the exact same thing. And that's all I'm going to say on this topic, folks. Don't be a victim of this manipulation. Don't let them guilt trip you or scare you into not doing your job. You have a job to do. Do it. Okay? That's all I got for this video. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications when I post new videos. And engage with me. Hit the like button. Leave me some comments. Leave me some comments. If you got topics or future videos, leave them in the comment section. I'll get to it. I promise you, I'll get to it. Alright, that's all I got for this video. Remember, there is no place for domestic violence in this world. 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-SAFE. That is the domestic violence hotline. The people at the other end of that phone call have the tools, resources, and ability to help victims of domestic violence. So if you yourself are a victim or you know a victim, 1-800-799-SAFE. Those folks can help you. If you know the abuser, remember the worst thing you can do is nothing. Say something to somebody. And if you are the abuser, there's help for you too. All you got to do is realize that you need it and then ask for it. This is Dave Smith, the Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Y'all be safe, climb the fence. I'll see you in the next video.